hell of a, she's so fine. Hell of a, blows my mind. Hell of a, lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is July 25th, 2020, Saturday night. I wanted to bring this story on this platform because it is a terrible, terrible story. I'm going to go ahead and warn you. And honestly, I'm just hearing about it. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I figure maybe there's several other people that haven't heard about it either. It happened, well, this article was from June 20th, 2020. And this article is from the Baltimore Sun. And it says, father of unborn son charged with killing pregnant woman and toddler, leaving them in car in southwest Baltimore. It's wrote by Wilborn P. Nobles III and Tim Prudente. That's a picture of Cheyenne Miller, 23, and her 3-year-old daughter, Shania Gilmore, who were found shot dead in a parked car in southwest Baltimore. And this photo is courtesy of the family. So let's get into this. A 24-year-old man has been arrested and charged with fatally shooting a woman pregnant with his unborn son and killing her 3-year-old daughter, then leaving them dead in her car parked in a southwest Baltimore neighborhood. I don't know if it's Devon or Devin Sample, who lives with his grandmother in nearby Beachfield, gunned down Cheyenne Miller while she was 8 months pregnant with his baby, police wrote in charging documents. Sample also allegedly shot and killed her 3-year-old daughter, Shania Gilmore. Sample remained held Saturday at the Baltimore Central Booking and Intake Center, charged with 16 counts ranging from first-degree murder of the mother and girl to committing a crime of violence against a pregnant person. Online court records did not list a defense attorney. He's scheduled for a preliminary court hearing August the 4th. Police found Miller and her daughter shot to death Friday afternoon inside her gray Subaru. The car was parked in the 200 block of Boswell Road in the Westgate neighborhood. Neighbors had noticed the woman inside and called police, worrying she might have overdosed. Officers found 9mm shell casings outside the Subaru and on the back seat. In charging documents, officers wrote that they checked police databases and found the same Subaru had been stopped about a mile away last month with Sample behind the wheel. He was pulled over for allegedly driving without insurance or registration, among other traffic offenses. On Friday, police went to Sample's home in the 4800 block of Melbourne Road and spoke to his grandmother. According to charging documents, she told officers that Miller and her daughter had been over Thursday evening. Quote, when asked for Mr. Sample's whereabouts, she advised officers that Mr. Sample was not home, end quote, police wrote. The officers told her they were obtaining a warrant to search the house. Quote, after being advised this by police, she advised officers that Mr. Sample was on the second floor, end quote, they wrote. A woman who answered at the home of Sample and his grandmother on Saturday evening declined to comment. I'll come back to the pictures. Sample was arrested and taken for a police interview. Officers also recovered surveillance cameras from the crime scene. The footage showed that around 11 p.m. Thursday, a black BMW pulled into the block, followed by Miller's Subaru. Officers wrote that the BMW is registered to Sample and they saw it parked Friday near his home. On the surveillance camera footage Thursday night, someone exited the BMW and went to the Subaru. Quote, a muzzle flash is observed from within the victim's vehicle, officers wrote. A second muzzle flash is observed outside of the driver's side of the vehicle, end quote. Then the BMW drives away, leaving the Subaru. When interviewed by officers, Sample initially denied being present at the scene, police wrote. Then they confronted him with the video and he admitted to driving the BMW, parking at the scene, and sitting in the Subaru with Miller and her daughter. Quote, however, Mr. Sample claims he got into his car, left the area, and never saw the victims again, end quote, officers wrote. Online court records show Sample has a drug case pending in Baltimore County, but no other criminal record. Miller's mother, Cherie Reed, has said her granddaughter was preparing to start pre-kindergarten. Reed said the family was planning a baby shower for Miller. Saturday afternoon, Police Commissioner Michael Harrison released a statement commending officers for their hard work and the quick arrest. Quote, "This is a tragic situation where family and friends are left suffering and mourning over the loss of loved ones," he said. "I can only pray that family and friends of the victims and our city can begin the healing process," end quote. Neighbors said they heard the gunshots late Thursday. One woman said she noticed the Subaru parked Friday morning with its windows down. The woman, who asked to remain anonymous out of concern for her safety, said she pulled alongside the car and saw Miller but thought she was asleep. After returning an hour and a half later, the woman pulled up and blew her horn. Miller didn't move, so the neighbor said she leaned in and called, "Miss, miss, miss." Realizing something was wrong, the woman called 911. Lester Davis, spokesman for Democratic Mayor Bernard C. Jack Young, said the mayor was, quote, "devastated and heartbroken by the killings." Davis said the police and the mayor's office, quote, "took it very hard and very serious to try to identify someone and bring justice," end quote. This year, 151 people have been killed in Baltimore, according to police statistics. 23 people have been killed this month and 39 people in May, which was the deadliest month since 2015. Detectives continue to investigate the killings of Miller, her daughter, and her unborn son. Anyone with information can call police at 410-396-2100. Baltimore's rampant gun violence has left several children dead in recent years, including 7-year-old Taylor Hayes, struck by errant gunfire, 7-year-old Kester Brown, executed by his mother in their southwest Baltimore home, 3-year-old Mackenzie Elliott, also killed by an errant bullet, and 1-year-old Carter Scott, who was shot and killed during an attack on his father. Let's go back up to these photos. This is a picture of 24-year-old Devon Sample, and it says they charged him with first-degree murder for the deaths of Cheyenne Miller and her daughter Shania Gilmore. So now his family's all tore to pieces, because now they basically lost their son and grandson. And her family's tore all to pieces. She's lost an unborn grandson, a granddaughter, and her own daughter, not to mention the other family members. Let's see. It says Latrice Johnson, sitting on the ground, grieves the loss of her granddaughter, Shania Gilmore III, as family and friends gather for a vigil at Boswell and Frederick Avenue for Cheyenne Miller and her 3-year-old daughter, Shania Gilmore, who were killed last Friday. Devon Sample was charged with killing Miller while she was 8 months pregnant with his baby, according to charging documents. Sample also allegedly shot and killed Shania Gilmore. This photo says, Shakaya Brown left, the aunt of Shania Gilmore III, and others light candles at the memorial for her niece, Shania, and her mother, Cheyenne Miller. Family and friends light candles as they gather for a vigil at Boswell and Frederick Avenue for Cheyenne Miller and her 3-year-old daughter, Shania Gilmore. Family and friends gather at the vigil at Boswell and Frederick Avenue. And again, that's Shakaya Brown on the right, the aunt of Shania Gilmore III, and her friend Tiana Jones, or Tiana. And they're placing stuffed toys at the memorial. That'd be a hard one to swallow. And there's more people gathered at the vigil Just terrible. Terrible. I don't know what... I mean, what in the world is going on in this world right now? But I knew I hadn't heard about this, and, you know, I'm pretty up on the news, so it kind of threw me off when I heard it, and then saw that it was from 3 weeks ago. I was like, oh my goodness. How in the world did I miss this? So, I definitely wanted to bring awareness of this young lady and her daughter being killed in Baltimore. And I hope they punish him to the fullest extent of the law. That's 3 lives that he took right there, and devastated 2 families. I guess 3 families. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible. But I appreciate you guys for watching.